Hi, this is Chris, the amateur ethicist, and this is a video response to Matt Ferrell's video, Forget Small, What About Micronuclear Energy? Click the info card or link in the show notes to learn more. I'll assume you've already watched his video before viewing my response. I advocate for the use of small and micro modular reactors. However, while we ultimately will be forced to go in that direction, it assumes the following that you didn't cover in this video. Number one, the knowledge and skill set that we have today. The people who are operating these reactors require very particular knowledge and specialized skill set. While Homer Simpson can press buttons and follow a recipe, when repairs are required, there aren't a lot of people who really understand what the consequences their repairs might have on the future operations of the reactor. I'll give you an example that's outside the reactor field. I'm a homeowner with no specialized skill in plumbing, electricity, or building. I have a radon remediation system in my home. It requires a pipe to suck air out from under the tightly fitted cover in my basement crawl space that goes out of the pipe on the top of my roof. I recently had some repairs done to the roof of my house. The person who did the repairs asked if I would mind if he could use a smaller diameter pipe at the end of the vent so that he could use a less expensive pipe flashing where the pipe comes through the roof. I had to remind him that the pipe and motor require a specific air pressure at which to operate to measure properly on the analog gauge in the closet in my house. Making the pipe smaller might not cause too many problems at first, with one change being a different pressure showing in the gauge in my closet. But over time, the smaller aperture could affect the motor, causing it to work harder than the tolerance already specified for the existing motor and pipe diameter. I'm just a homeowner, yet I knew enough to suggest that reducing the pipe diameter for my radon remediation system was a bad idea and probably would void my motor's warranty for the reasons I suggested. After I explained that, the guy understood he had to use the same diameter pipe, same setup. However, if I'd been just an unknowledgeable homeowner who didn't understand the caveats and just used the less expensive, smaller diameter part just to recoup some costs on repair, later on down the road, I might be more likely to have to buy a new remediation motor and new pipe at the top of my remediation stack at a much higher cost than the simple roof repair. This was a professional roofing contractor who knows about pipe flashing on a roof but doesn't know about radon remediation requirements. How many people have repairs done similarly in their homes that cause future problems because they didn't understand the consequences of using easy, cheap, and unfortunate repair methods? Now, imagine having the same considerations with modular nuclear reactions. Lots of them. The repair scenarios can be sort of bleak. Number two, knowledge and skill set passed on. When climate change finally makes our economy go pear-shaped, expecting this skill set and knowledge to be passed on without flaw over a vast number of similar installations seems unlikely to happen like clockwork. Where required parts and materials are unavailable, other parts and materials will be used in a compromise. Some reactors will have repairs done by people who don't understand the physics. Slapdash repairs will happen due to supply line fault, ignorance, and negligence on a significant number of these smaller modular reactors. That's going to affect the larger environment. Number three, the lowest common denominator, low information citizens. Humans as a species do not react with sentience. As a species, we're no better than bacteria. We don't know how to control our own population, just like bacteria. Some 30% of us are driven more by emotion and viscera than we are by logic and science. We tend to lack critical thinking skills. In 10 years, when our climate goes pear-shaped, they're not going to blame it on our past overuse of resources and overpopulation. They're going to lash out emotionally at the first thing they don't understand, the small modular reactors and science. They'll hold on to the belief structure that a higher being will save them from their own actions or inactions and either attack the reactors, bury them, or try to dig them out and pile them up somewhere else to make it someone else's problem. Reactors will require 24/7 surveillance by people who will probably not be paid very well as guards and will frankly give up in the face of a mob coming to destroy what they see as witchcraft and ungodly. This is America today. Anything we don't understand, we shun or kill. Another scenario that could play out is that the people who live in a community powered by a small modular reactor will be surrounded by towns in a climate disaster that will have no power or convenience. The surrounding inconvenienced people may decide to overpower and take over the community with a reactor and entirely botch the management of it as it begins to fail, again due to ignorance. In the coming climate disaster, I have to wonder if the reactor can simply be boarded up and stored safely after the 10 years of useful life are over, because there's every indication we won't have the national or state infrastructure required to replace small nuclear reactors at their end-of-life time point, much less know how to store the remains. So while I wouldn't mind having the convenience of small modular reactors today, I'm not sure the end result will be for the best. This is Chris, the amateur ethicist. Thanks for crossing the road with me today, and I hope you'll see me in the next video.